Hello everyone and welcome back to this brand new video. For today we're going to be playing mono white aggro, and yes, I'm pretty sure that by now you noticed that I have a face cam in my videos, so do let me know in the comments down below if you like my setup. Do let me know if you want me to change anything. And one more announcement before we get into our deck. I really hope that you like this shirt because you're going to be seeing it for the next 4 days. Now why is that? I might be facing a power outage for the next 4 days, and obviously if you don't have power you can't record, so I'm gonna pre-record all of the footage for this week. So please take your time and appreciate this shirt because you're gonna be seeing it a lot this week. And with all of that out of the way, let's get into our deck. Yes, we are playing white for this deck, and yes, I keep making fun of white, but this deck won the Red Bull Untapped tournament this Saturday. I will link the event in the description down below, and I also will link the name of the player that made it. So let's quickly discuss this deck. So it's a aggro deck obviously, so you're playing a lot of one drop, and the cool thing about this deck is that it's a go white deck and it has a pretty good curve. Now why am I saying that? If you go turn 1 1 drop, turn 2 raise the alarm, you have a turn 3 Venerated Loxodon, or you also could have a turn 3 Glorious Anthem, which is a huge amount of damage. And even if you don't like go with all of that, you have a turn 2 or like turn 3 Basri Solidarity, which is a pretty insane card in this deck. Trust me, I thought that this card would only be good in limited and barely just be played in limited, but it's actually quite insane in this deck. Now let's discuss quickly our resiliency or our board wipe protection because it's very essential in an aggro deck. Now the two main cards that I want to talk about are Hunted Witness and Garrison Cat. Now they're not technically board wipe protection, but they give you something after they die, which pairs very well with your Glorious Anthem because they get pumped as well. Besides that, we have Selfless Savior, which can save anything. Now usually I use it to save Loxodon because if they shatter the sky and I save Loxodon, I draw a card and I also have a 4/4 body post board wipe, which is usually very good. Besides that, we have Seasoned Hallowblade. Isn't technically board wipe protection, but it's not vulnerable to board wipes because you can just pitch something and let it survive. And last but not least, we have our Unbreakable Formation, which is a very good card. Now what I like about Raise the Alarm the most in this deck is that in case your opponent doesn't board wipe or doesn't do anything, you can unstep Raise the Alarm, because like sometimes keeping Unbreakable Formation without extending your board kind of hurts aggro decks, but Raise the Alarm kind of fixes that problem. And with all of that out of the way, one more thing that I wanted to add: Castle Ardenvale is not essential in this deck. I've never reached a point where I had to use it. So in case you don't have them, you can just play 4 more planes, and in case you're afraid of hitting 2 Castle Ardenvales in your opening hand, you can decrease them to like maybe 2 or like 3. You can experiment with that. I did not find any problem while testing with Castle Ardenvale. And with that, let's discuss our sideboard. I really like the sideboard of this deck mainly because it uses Gideon Blackblade, a card I really like. Now let's discuss the sideboard quickly. Fight as 1 is a very good card in this deck because we have a lot of humans and non-humans in our curve. Bounty Agent is a very good card against Team Reclamation because whenever they sacrifice Uro, you have a way to deal with that at instant speed. So if you play turn 2 Bounty Agent, you keep on attacking with it, it deals its damage. Your opponent escapes Uro, you can just sacrifice the bounty, destroy that Uro, and that's quite good in this meta. Devout Decree is a way for us to deal with the annoying mono black decks, and yes, we obviously know that everyone wants to deal with mono black because that 3 mana 7/6 dinosaur is not easy to deal with in a white deck, and that's the main way we deal with it. Glass Casket is another way to deal with it, and also to deal with Uro, an annoying card to say the least. Gideon Blackblade is insane because against control decks they really can't deal with it efficiently because they usually don't think about Gideon Blackblade as a sideboard card, so they just put in all of the Shatter the Sky, and there's no way for them to deal with Gideon except for maybe Aspect Conquers Death, something that you will obviously not keep in a aggro matchup. And last but not least, we have Unbreakable Formation. Now one last thing about Bounty Agent, it's also good because it deals with Jor-El, and if a Jor-El sticks against you as a go white deck, you're gonna have some problems, so that's also something you should keep in mind if you're playing against Bant Ramp. Now with all of that out of the way, and before we get into our games, I would like to please ask you to subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. Besides that, if you want to help the channel even more, you can check out the Patreon link in the description down below. And with that, I'll see you in the games. Going into our first game of mono white aggro, this is obviously not a hand you want to keep, so it's small. Okay, so this is not that better of a hand, but I guess it's quite better than what we had. What do we bottom? I guess we can bottom a land safely because we're going second. So we will most likely draw our other land. Now we have a very good curve of Selfless Savior into Raise the Alarm and Glorious Anthem in case we draw our sources. So let's see what we can do. Now I'm just hoping that we draw into a white source. Now guys, stay hydrated, very important. Venerated Loxodon does change what I have in mind. Alright, so let's just attack. And after our attack, we can set up for Raise the Alarm on the end step. And then we can play our Selfless Savior and then our Venerated Loxodon, which is a very, very good curve to say the least. Or we could just flash in our Raise the Alarm to block this at instant speed. Okay, so opponent is definitely mono black. Let's just see what happens. Okay, opponent passes the attack step. Let's just Raise the Alarm. And we're obviously gonna stop this annoying creature because the less damage we take, the better. Let's see if he's willing to use a removal spell for this token. He is not, or he just simply does not have it. Knight is probably a top deck because he did not play it last turn, so it's very obvious for me that he drew it this turn. Another Glorious Anthem feels bad. I guess the best thing we could do now is to play our other Selfless Savior and set up for Loxodon next turn. Yes, usually this deck is a bit more explosive, but we did not draw a land yet, and we just drew double Glorious Anthem, so forgive me. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but I'm pretty sure that we deal more damage in the long game, so I'm pretty fine with that. It's okay. It's definitely okay, we got this. Okay, so we can Raise the Alarm and then we can Venerated Loxodon. And then the turn after we can Basri Solidarity, or if we draw a land we can just play Glorious Anthem, which feels good. Now we simply have a lot of power on board, and for any mono white fan here, you're gonna enjoy the next couple of turns. Now we can just attack for 10, 14, that's even without playing the Solidarity, so that's quite insane in my opinion. So let's see what our opponent does. Opponent just does not do anything. He plays a Spawn of Mayhem. It's a bit too late for Spawn of Mayhem. The thing is, we're dead next turn, so we kind of need to force the trade. I guess Solidarity is the only way to do that. And we just attack with everything and probably lose the first game, but we're going to try to win the other game. I don't think we have near enough lethal. If he blocks one, we have, let's say he blocks this one, then he takes 5 times 3, that's 15. Yeah, he's not dead, but I think he has to trade one of his creatures. Because if he doesn't block the Loxodon, he takes 12. Actually, he's still not dead even if he doesn't block the Loxodon, so I'm just waiting for him to realize that. Alright, so that's it for game 1. I'm pretty sure that we lost this one. He's down to 2, and sadly 2 is not lethal, so let's just go into our next game. Okay, so sad, like a small problem because we do not draw our third land. I guess Devout Decree is a very good card. I don't think we need the Glorious Anthem. It's a bit too slow in my opinion. And do we want anything else? I guess not really. Maybe we side and fight as one as a combat trick and we side out. Actually, I like Giant Killer because it stops a lot of things. It can stop a Knight of the Ebon Legion post pump, and it can stop numerous things. So I guess we're gonna keep it for that reason. So let's see what our opponent does. We're going to play first, obviously, and this is a bad hand, so we're going to mull. It says a better hand, I guess, and we're gonna bottom this Glorious Anthem. Sorry for any Glorious Anthem fans, but we don't have any means to play it right now. So we're gonna play our planes, play our Giant Killer, and just set up for the future. We need help. We need a lot of help from the top of our deck, but I mean, what can we do? Not a lot, exactly. We're going to play our Seasoned Hallowblade, and we're just going to attack from 1. Now, next turn, if you draw into a white source, I mean a land, because all of our sources are white, we can play Seasoned Hallowblade, and then Devout Decree, which is a good curve. Alright, so let's just attack first. He's probably gonna flash in his annoying 2-drop, obviously. Does he block? That's the question. If he forces me to discard, I would discard. Okay, actually I won't discard because the same thing as me just playing another one from my hand, so like might as well. Let's just play our Seasoned Hallowblade and then play our Hunted Witness. Maybe I could have discarded Hunted Witness and then kept our other Seasoned Hallowblade alive, but I don't think it's gonna be that big of an issue. And forgive me if I don't see the lines that all aggro players see, but I'm very new to playing aggro, so forgive me for that. So let's see what our opponent does. Opponent does not do anything, which is weird. Does he have another flashy 1-drop? I mean 2-drop? Probably. I guess because of that we just attack with these 2, and then if he flashes anything and we tap it down. So opponent. Alright, that's fine with me. Let's just tap it down. Tap it down, goodbye. and now opponent can just take 4. Okay, now we are aggro. We're kind of taking a long time to kill our opponent, but I mean, what can I do? Opponent thinking quite a lot about this combat step. Spawn of Mayhem is fine, we're gonna Devout Decree that. We have Devout Decree, and then next turn we have a Basri Solidarity after the tap thing. I obviously don't want another land. Alright, so let's just tap this down and then attack for 4. And now next turn we can just also play against Solidarity, tap, attack for, now this time we can attack for 6. Opponent is at a quite healthy life total, but we're trying as much as possible to deal with that. Register is not something that you want to see obviously, but we can chump it for 1 turn. Now Devout Decree off the top, please. Or Giant Killer. That's neither of these, but it's fine. I guess we play our cat and then we play our Solidarity, and I guess we pass. Now the thing is, we can maybe tap this down next combat and then just attack that way, or if he just attacks we can do some things. Currently we have 10 damage on the field, we just need to hit once more. Never mind, I'm not tapping down anything. Alright, so let's see what our opponent does. Opponent does nothing. We obviously want to drop our Loxodon, so let's just play our Loxodon. Tap, tap, tap. Alright. Now we're trying to expand our board as much as possible. Rotting Regisaur is quite an annoying creature in this kind of board state, but I mean, we can draw into things that can help us. Alright, so raise the alarm is good. Now the thing is, can I even afford to attack? That's the question. I don't think so. I guess we keep on waiting, because my attack is just simply going to be a trade with Knight of the Ebon Legion having Death Touch, or with simply a Rotting Regisaur. So I guess we wait, but we keep on extending our board state. And yes, very smart opponent. You drew a card and then you discarded it with Regisaur. Very, very OP. I mean, good for him, it was a land. So like, he did not discard something that he needed. Sadly, you're going to start. I'm very, like, I wonder why he did not use it on his Rotting Regisaur, which has flying, which I mean, the 7/6. It's a 2-turn clock instead of a, I guess this is a, oof, that's actually big. That's actually quite big. Let's just cast down chop down this Rotting Regisaur. I'm pretty sure chopping down a dinosaur is not that easy, so thanks a lot, 1 drop. I guess we attack with everything. And we force some trades. It's fine with me if you lose our 5-3, we are dealing lethal. Okay, so with that, let's go into our 3rd game. Let's see what our opponent does. I guess we run it down again. Is there anything that I want to change? Not really. Maybe take out 1 Glorious Anthem, play 1 more Glass Casket. That could be an option. I guess we go for that. Giant Killer proved to be a very good card in this matchup. I guess we just run it down and we hope that we are lucky enough to win this game. Devout Decree came in clutch because it dealt with Demon, and the Giant Killer tapping down things, killing the annoying dinosaur also came in very well. So let's see what happens in this game. This is quite a decent hand because we have turn 1 Cat, turn 2 Raise the Alarm, turn 2 either turn 3 Solidarity or Loxodon. This is quite the curve that you want to see in this deck. Alright, so let's just play our cat. Now if we... does he has this... okay, I thought maybe he has this figure, but he apparently does not. Another Loxodon actually is good, because now the next turn we can probably... alright, so sure, I don't mind that. If he attacks with it, we're gonna block, because 1, we get back something, and then 2, I don't want him to play his demon on turn 3. Please don't play the Rotting Regisaur. Please no Rotting Regisaur. That's theoretically fine, because we kill it with Giant Killer. Let's just raise the alarm for now. Let's just raise the alarm for now. Please, deck, give us a land. Okay, land is definitely here. Let's just chop this down. And let's just attack for 3. We're a bit behind damage wise, but it's fine. So now next turn we can play our Giant Killer, play our Loxodon if I'm not wrong. We'll have, yeah, we can definitely play Giant Killer and play the Loxodon. And then the turn after we can play yet another Loxodon. Things are looking good. Okay, so let's just play our Giant Killer, play our Seasoned Hallowblade, and then play our Venerated Loxodon. Tap this down, tap this down, tap this down. I'm gonna keep this here because I'd rather block with it. And now if he attacks, if he gets this flying and then he attacks us, we have lethal next turn, so I'm pretty fine with that. How do we have lethal? We have 8, 10, 14, 16, 17, and we have the Solidarity, just keep on pumping more damage. So let's just see what our opponent does. Solidarity is going to be very, very surprising for him. And I don't think he's in a position where you are forced to attack or where you're even encouraged to attack. So let's simply see what our opponent has in mind. And even if he doesn't attack, if you draw a land and then we can tap down things with Giant Killer and then Solidarity, that should be enough to end the game. So let's see what our opponent has in mind. This is quite the crucial turn for our opponents, so I understand him taking his time to think about it. But if he thinks that he can survive, he is in a delusion, unless he uses Cry of the Carnarium. Cry of the Carnarium would be kind of brutal because we lose our Hallowblade, we lose all of our tokens, we do get a 1-1. Actually, we don't get a 1-1 because it exiles. So let's just hope that there's no Cry of the Carnarium. Let's just wish and pray. I don't think he has it because he would have probably played it by now, yeah. So we lose our Giant Killer, which is okay. He still can't attack or else he's dead. So let's just see what our opponent has in mind. Once again, okay. I mean, that's a decent turn of events. Devout Decree and Solidarity. That should be enough to earn the game. That is definitely enough to earn the game. Alright, so I don't really care. I'm pretty sure we won this game. So let's just Basri Solidarity. And now we can attack for a lot of damage. Alright, so maybe he gets one more turn, but it's fine. Alright, sure, let's attack. Math is for blockers. He's down to 4. I mean, he has to drop so many blockers. It's not that easy for him to drop that many blockers. Does he kill himself with his own castle? That's the question, though. That's a very good question. Alright, so let's see, does this game end? Opponent, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Sure, if he has another one, he can give the other one lifelink as well, so that could be a stall, but I mean, pretty sure I'm fine with all of this. He's gonna gain 3 life, he's gonna still end up taking 8. Grasp of Darkness on our 1-1. Alright, sure, you survive for one more turn, opponent. I'll give you that. Actually, he doesn't survive. Yeah, he does survive. I forgot that it has lifelink. Weird thing in arena. So, opponent, are you ready to give up? He's not ready to give up yet. He can't attack. Good game, opponent. Good game. Let's just make a castle. Alright, I want to make a token with Ardenvale. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy, please do consider subscribing because it helps the channel a lot. Before signing off, I wanted to thank my patrons because they are the ones making my content possible. And a special shout out to I am Mark Mac. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.